So for lagging load, if we use S equal to VI conjugate, then you see if I is conjugate, we are conjugating current, then current is lagging for inductive load, then obviously inductive bar will come positive. Because if V is reference, I is at an angle minus phi, then we are taking conjugate of that. So it will be apparent power will be VI at an angle phi plus phi if it is lagging load. So inductive bar for lagging load will come positive in that case. I am going this part faster because you have learned this one. If you have any doubt, then you ask me. So if we do the same thing for the leading load, then what will happen? Then obviously this angle will come negative. So this angle is of apparent power. So in that case, the reactive bar will come negative. So what does it indicate? If we use the VI conjugate and if there be any inductive bar, then it will come as positive. Okay. Why it is required? If we measure in the power factor angle, if we know the load, then we can calculate it. But sometimes for big calculation in power system, we have to do the calculation in the computation at first, compute in the through the programming. Then we implement that one in practical cases. Sometimes it is also happens some online computation also goes on for the power systems. So in that case, this type of thing is required. So say in a process when current and voltage are calculating, so you are not seeing the magnitude of current and angle or of angle of current or magnitude of voltage and angle of voltage at that moment. So you do not know who is lagging or who is leading. So in that case, if we take the current conjugate in the computation and if we display only the power after computer programming, then by taking the sign of the power, we can say that whether it is lagging or leading, right? So if it is coming positive, then that means inductive bar is the system has inductive bar, and if it is coming negative, then that means the system has the capacitive bar. But it is not nothing to do with the system will not change with the whether you are taking VI conjugate or V conjugate. The system will be same, only your mode of calculation is different. You have to assess, say real part of the power is active, but imaginary part may be obviously reactive, but whether capacitive or inductive, that you have to decide. So in that case, so we have to follow one convention. Generally, in power system calculation, we use the convention. We shall generally calculate power using VI conjugate. We take current conjugate always. Now for leading load, obviously that will be just opposite. In leading load, current is leading, and if we use the equation V conjugate I, then for leading load, what will happen? Current is leading, so reactive bar will come positive. And for if we take voltage conjugate, then for inductive load, current is lagging, so angle will remain same, negative. So inductive bar will come negative. So there are two type of options to calculate the complex power or apparent power in a power system. So in short, in we if we use the VI conjugate, then inductive bar will come up positive. If we just remember this much of thing, then we can sort out the other. Have you understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So now you see why we take conjugate. So if we take only VI, then also inductive bar will come negative, and in this case, if we take VI, then obviously inductive bar would come positive. Then VI, then inductive bar. Sorry, if we come get VI in this case only VI, then for negative it will be inductive bar will be negative and the capacitive bar will be positive. Then why we take conjugate? What is the need of conjugate? Actually, we cannot get rid of conjugate in case of power calculation. It is mandatory. You have to take that one. Why? Because say when we are calculating in a say in a programming mode or say voltage or current, none of them are reference. Their magnitudes and angles are calculated with respect to some other reference. So for this example, say if it is reference, horizontal line is the reference, then the voltage is alpha angle leading from the reference and current is beta angle leading from the reference. But if we see the voltage and current, then this is a lagging circuit, right? So obviously we can calculate Vi cos phi, Vi sin phi. But if we want to but in that case, we have to see the phasor diagram. We have to visualize this at first. Then we can do that one. So if we want to do this one through computer programming, then we need actually some convention. That's why we use Vi conjugate. One thing you know, always in phase component of voltage and currents produce active power, because always resistive circuit means voltage and current will be in same phase. That means the resistive circuit. Inductive circuit means voltage and current will be 90 degree out of phase and current will be lagging. Capacitive circuit means voltage, if voltage is reference, then current will be 90 degree leading. These three types of things are available in the AC system. And along with that, all these may happen for load, because for power system there are two things, as well as for generation, right? Now, if you take load power as positive, then you have to take generator power as negative, because load and generator just opposite in sense. Otherwise, if you take generator as positive, then you have to take load in negative. So whatever convention I am saying, that is applicable to load as well as generation also, but the sense will be negative. So now leave now generator, then it will be rather confusing for you. Just we stick in load. Then voltage and current, if are in same phase, then they will produce active power. They are like resistance. They will produce some heat. So in this phasor diagram, if we just take two component of voltages, horizontal component is V1 and in quadrature component is V2. Similarly, current, the in phase component of the reference is I1 and 90 degree out of phase component is I2. Then you see that these V1 and I1 will produce active power. Similarly, this V2 and I2 will produce active power because they are in same phase, right? Similarly, this V and this I are 90 degree out of phase. So they will produce reactive power, because voltage and if voltage and current are 90 degree out of phase, then it will be either inductive or capacitive, right? Similarly, these I2 and V also produce some reactive power. Have you understood this much?
Yes, ma'am.
Then, in short, active power will be V1 I1 plus V2 I2. There is no issue, because in phase component will produce the active power. Now, here all are in same sense. Voltage and current are in same direction, so they are load. But if it is like that I2 is in this direction, then it will be a generation. Okay, because in generation current are outgoing and in load current are incoming. You can, as you think about the synchronous generator and synchronous motor in that way. Then for active power there is no issue. In a load it will never come generation, so it will be either load or generation, so there is no issue. Otherwise both will be negative or both will be positive. So here it is load, so V1 I1 V2 I2 are the active power. Now you see the reactive power. If you consider V2, this V2 and the I1, then you see I1 is lagging behind V2. Then which type of reactive power is this?
Inductive.
Inductive. And
Inductive.
if you think about this I2 and V2, then which type of reactive power is this?
Capacitive.
Then you cannot give the same sign to the all of both of these, is not it? They both of them there should be of opposite side, because one is inductive, another is capacitive. So for that
Yes,
reason,
ma'am.
if we consider the inductive, we do not know which one is positive higher right now. Now, if we want to make inductive var move in terms of inductive power, then obviously V2I1 is inductive. From there, we shall subtract the capacitive power. We shall put the capacitive power with a negative sign. So V2I1 or I1 minus V1I2. Now, similarly, if we want to use just the V conjugate I, in that case, actually the inductive power will come negative. So similarly, V2I1, just it will be negative, and this V1I2 will be positive. So so inductive bar will match. So we need this V1I1 plus V2I2 to get the actual active power. Otherwise, our calculation of active power will be wrong. So because if you do not use VI conjugate, if you just do the VI, then what will happen? This VI at an angle phi, minus phi or plus phi, then this plus sign will not come. It will come as negative. Okay, because 1 plus j into minus j should come, minus j square, then we can get the positive, otherwise not. So in that case, that we cannot calculate active power properly. So to calculate active power properly, actually we use the conjugate, right? We do not use the conjugate for inductive power, reactive power. We use the conjugate to get the proper scenario of active power. Otherwise it will be wrong. Have you understood?
Yes,
Have
ma'am.
you? So similarly, so this was the preliminary thing. So next, now we shall start with the power unit system. This is in your syllabus. So why we need this per unit system? Say in a power system, it is a huge circuit. You have now idea of power transmission system and you have idea of power generation. So power generation is in the level of 11 kV, maximum 20 kV. Then transmission maybe 132, 220, 400, 600, 750. This is the transmission voltage level. And the consumer end level in industrial for industrial it is maybe 33 kV, 111 kV, 1.1 kV. But even in domestic level, it may be 230 volt, is not it? As your at your or mine household. So there is a several change, drastic change in voltage and current level at different parts of a power system, and they are interconnected. So if we want to assess what amount of power of generator is required at a particular time by numerical calculation, then we need a circuit for that. Say why there is equivalent circuit of transformer, synchronous generator, synchronous machines, or the induction motor, only to assess the performance of those machines properly. Actually you know that the equivalent circuit of transformer does not exist within the transformer. In the transformer always there are two coils, but we represent that by an equivalent circuit so that we can analyze the behavior of the transformer by a circuit. Similarly, if we want to analyze the behavior of a power system by a circuit, at first all of them should be in a same platform. Otherwise, it is not possible. Otherwise, how can we represent them by a circuit? So here, if we put this one, all are three phase. So if it is balanced, we can represent them by per phase basis. There is no issue. For every component, per phase representation is there. But when we are considering a total power system, then in that case, the voltage and current level are changing abruptly from one bus to another. So that's why we need a platform where this drastic change of voltage and current we can handle, and we have no need to bother about that. Say if we connect in per phase system, total system, through their equivalent circuit we can connect. But when we shall analyze the circuit for this transformer T1, we have to remember that this transformer primary side is 11 kV and secondary side is 132 kV. Similarly, for transformer T2, we have to remember this primary side is 132, secondary side is not 11 but 33. So this type of you have to remember this thing. So this is very difficult. I have shown only a single isolated power system. Here there is no other generator, There is no interconnected transmission line. But it is this type of power system is for academic use only. Actually, the power system is totally interconnected. Okay. So there, then the system will then the handling of those situations will be more complicated. So that's why there is power unit system actually a system through which we convert this voltage and current to a scale, so that we have no need to bother about the primary secondary of a transformer or change in voltage and current, and we can easily calculate the our requirement, power, voltage, current, efficiency, whatever is required, and then we can convert them again into the actual parameter. Say if we know the current is zero point 0.9 per unit, what shall we do with that? Because zero point 0.9 per unit I have no use. What is the actual current corresponds to zero point 0.9 per unit, that we have to know. So that's why this is the thing. This is the same thing as in a class. Say if we say that a student has got 80% marks, then it means that if whatever exam he has given, out of 100 he has got 80, and the student has got 90% marks. That means in the same examination per 100 he has got 90%. But if we say one student has got 584, another has got 684, then does not make this type of information does not make the proper comparison, okay, a proper analysis. So this is the thing. Per unit system is more or less like the percentage. We calculate as the percentage on percentage basis, then we again convert it into the actual value. What was that I was telling that zero point 0.9 per unit current. Now, if the base is 100, say the current is 90 ampere or 90 kilo ampere, then we can say, so this will be the current. But then why you have calculated in 0 0.9 per unit? Because then the calculation mode will be easier. Okay. When I shall discuss further, then it will be clear to you. So per unit value is not nothing but actually an ratio. Any quantity we divide it by a base quantity, like in percentage. 80 marks we divide it by 100, is not it? So, or say full marks is 600, 590 is a marks obtained, so 590 by 600. So what is the value a student has got, and what is the total value will be there if it would be 100%. So in that way. So base value actually is the full value or the rated value of a particular quantity, say voltage, current, or anything. If I give you the example of voltage, that will be, I think, acceptable for you at this moment. Say at a bus, always bus voltage maybe 11 kV, 33 kV, 200, 220 kV, like that. We never see in the Indian system, we never got a voltage of 10 kV or 15 kV. It's not a bus voltage. Generator maybe for the design criteria, design issue. But for the power system buses, the voltage is 11 kV. So 11 kV is the voltage. So 11 kV is the preferred voltage or rated voltage of a particular bus. Say for this example, say here bus voltage should be 11 kV, because if the bus voltage is 11 kV, then only this transformer can give the 132 kV in the secondary, right? So this 11 kV is the rated value. Now it may happen that generator is not at this moment it is not capable to provide the 11 kV. It is giving the 10.9. That means 10.9 will be available here. So in per unit it will be 10.9 by 11, right? So obviously it will be 19 by 19.9 something. But the ideal value will be 11 by 11 equal to 1 per unit, right? So 1 per unit means 100% in our percentage. And per unit means actual value. What is available? 10.9 by 11 in that way. Similarly for impedance, current, everything. So per unit value is actual value by base value. Now, so we are converting the quantities to per unit value. Then we have to verify everything, because in power system there are three phase quantities. There is voltage, current. They have certain relation. Voltage is VI, power is VI cos phi. Voltage is impedance is voltage by current. So this relation should be maintained. Otherwise, we are converting only for calculation purpose to some platform, and that is actually disturbing the basic behavior of the power system. That does not happen, because this power unit calculation is required only for our ease of computation, not for operation of power system. Power system operation will not depend on per unit values. It will depend on the actual values. But we are calculating per unit values so that we can calculate these in very easily. For that reason, so say IA, VV, Z ohm, SVA are the actual values. Actual values mean that you are measuring in meters. I for current, V for voltage. I hope you can understand. Then B suffix B is indicated base value. So IB, VB, ZB, SB are the base values. That may be the rated values or our a reference value. Say MVA, generally there is no rated value. Reference we set for the MVA, say 100 generally. For voltage, they are generated value of the buses. So what will be per unit value of current, actual value of current by base value of current. Similarly for voltage, impedance, powers, all this. Now you must remember we use base value of impedance, and this base impedance is always a real number. Base impedance is not a complex number, right? Because it is a it is a quantity, it is a value, right? But Z ohm is the actual value, right? So 5 plus J 30 like that. So this is a complex number, ZB is a real number. Now R per unit is not R ohm by RB, but R per unit is R ohm by ZB. Why? Because Z is this R is Z is R plus J na? R plus JX. Na? So we shall divide here by the Z ohm. This is actually R ohm by J plus JX ohm, right? So I have written this one in short here because I hope you can understand. So R per unit will be R actual value by impedance, X actual value by impedance. We cannot make here XB, because if we make it here XB, then these two relations we cannot match. I hope you can understand. These two relations we cannot match. So this will be the thing. Similarly for the powers. Powers also actual active power by base MVA, reactive power by base MVA, not the active power by base active power. There is no concept of base active power. Now, if there be a single phase system, then what will be the impedance? Voltage by current by base values, and the MVA, voltage into current. Now, obviously, current may be a complex quantity. Now, base current will not be a complex quantity. Actual current will be a complex quantity. Now, so in a if we want to calculate the per unit quantities, you see this equation, actual value by base value. Then at first, if for any quantity in power system applications, if we want to get the per unit value, at first we need the base value, and base value we select. The person who will compute that he or she will select. So this base value at first we have to calculate or decide. Then what base value we shall decide? Now you know base value, you are seeing that it is required for current, voltage, impedance and the power. But among these four, current and impedance are not readily available in power system. But voltage are rated and they are specified at different buses. Similarly, powers are more or less specified because we know how much power is connected to a particular bus, how much load or how much generator. So the possibility to be known quantity is more for current and for voltage and the MVA, not for the current or the impedance. So for that reason, if we know the voltage and MV only, then from there we can calculate the current or Z, right? So for that reason, actually the MVA or volt ampere and voltage are generally specified quantity in a power system. Maybe in three phase, maybe in single phase. Then from there we can calculate base current. This is single phase system. So base current is MVA by V. Obviously for three phase it will be root 3. Anyway. Now base impedance is voltage by current. Now current we can write power by voltage. So it will be simply if we replace current by power by voltage, it will come VB square by SB. So from there, just in opposite way, we can calculate admittance also. Since I am not writing it, all this, I am showing you in PPT. You must practice one time by writing. Then your mistakes will be lesser in the calculations or in examination. Now you must know that per unit value has no obviously why per unit, because you are calculating this one for current, for voltage, for
Hello, ma'am.
yes.
Base impedance is the real quantity. Here,
Base impedance will be, all the base values will be the real quantity, because base value you are assuming, you will not assume any complex quantity, right? So you are assuming say MVA as 100 MVA only. You may assume at an angle 0 degree. So 100 MVA will be 100 megawatt. But we do not generally assume base active power. We do never assume base in a megawatt as 100. We always assume base MVA as 100 and base kV as the 11 kV or 220 kV depending on the applications.
okay,
Have
ma'am.
you got your answer?
Yes, ma'am. So that means in the base value that J part is
Not there.
always zero, right?
Yes.
Uh, okay.
Because there is no
Only,
chance to come Z here, J here.
only the resistive part we take now in
No,
ZB.
ZB does not means it is a resistive part.
Uh, so in the after the calculation of VB by IB, so we can get the complex part there also.
No, no, VV by IB is a say real, it's a real value. But you should not write it as R. Why? Because for this one, per unit is Z ohm by ZB. But this Z ohm may be R plus JX, right?
Okay, ma'am. Yes,
Then
ma'am.
if you write this one RB, then how you calculate the X per unit?
Yes, ma'am.
Understood? So your point is right. If we think from the point of view of impedance, then one impedance has only real value, that means it is resistance, right?
Yes, ma'am.
But here this impedance is not any impedance connected to anywhere. This is the reference.
Yes,
Like in a class, there is a 980 student, sorry,
yes,
900
ma'am.
student out of 950. Then how we calculate 9 percentage? Say 920 by
900,
950 into
950.
900 by 950 into 100, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So here the 100 is the reference, is not it? In that way.
Okay, ma'am.
So generally per unit has no space, because for every quantity we are calculating per unit values. So we generally do not write per unit voltage, per unit current, per unit impedance, but we write only per unit. Impedance is 0.2 per unit. That means impedance is point some ohm by some ohm, right? In that way. So for voltage calculation, always KVL will be valid. So voltage should be Z into I. For power calculation, always a base will be V into I conjugate, not V into I. That VI conjugate should be valid for per unit calculation also. Because actually, what are you doing for power calculation? You are calculating the just in denominator, there are some SBs, right? Nothing more than that. So it should not change the actual behavior of the system, right? So basic thing should be same. So the KVL should be valid, power calculation should be VI conjugate. Now you see, say there is a three phase system, right? Now if we start with this concept, we shall say we are deciding that we shall represent per unit by V by VB, S by SB in that way. Now say let us cross check whether it is applicable to the three-phase system or is there any contradiction. So let us check. So for base quantities, say this is the base quantity in line values. L means line and P means phase. So if we consider line value for base, then phase value into root 3 must be line value. That should be that solution should be valid, because the base quantities are some quantities that is relevant to the system. Similarly, the line values on phase values will be same for the current, for the star connection. Have you understood this much?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Then say actual quantities, actual values, what always this relation will be valid, VL equal to VP root 3 and IL equal to IP. Now we are taking only the ratios. So if we calculate VL in per unit, then we shall divide the line quantities by the base value of line quantities, right? Now if you see line quantity is equal to phase quantity into root 3, but base value also phase quantity into root 3. So these root 3 will be cancelled out. So line quantity in per unit and phase quantity in per unit will be same. Similarly for current. That does not mean that 400 kV, 415 volt line to line will be equal to 230 volt uh, phase value. Just you see that example. If 415 is the line value in your household, then if you calculate VL per unit, it will be 415 by 415, right? So it will be 1. Similarly, if you calculate, say, I am assuming that the rated value is available for our use of our calculation. This 415 may be available voltage, maybe 405 also. Now, if for the phase quantities, obviously the voltage will be the 230. Then your reference is also 230, so it will be 1. So both are same. In per unit, both are on 1 per unit, but actually, in actual, phase quantity is 230, line quantity is 415. Have you understood that? Have you understood?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
So actually, there will be no change in numerical values for phase to line conversion. Numerical values means if the line quantity come 0.9 per unit, phase quantity per unit will come 0.9 per unit. So when you are converting a system to per unit system, so at a node, say you are getting voltage 0.9 per unit. So 0.9 per unit voltage, if that node the rated voltage is 11 kV, then obviously the voltage at that node will be 0.9 into 11, that means 9.9 kV, right? So 9.9 kV is what? Line to line. Now if you divide it by root 3, it will be the phase value, right? In that. But now if we want to just convert into directly to the phase value, then you just calculate 0.9 into 11 by root 3. You have no need to bother about other things, right? And if you want to calculate the line value, you just multiply 0.9 by 11 into 11. This is the advantage of the per unit system. You have no need to bother about phase or line. But if you get it in 400 in the actual quantities, for line you would get it 415 for your household system. For phase you have to get the 230. Now you can see the how much change in the numerical values. At the same time, you cannot assess. For the I hope you have a concept that in transmission line generally we allow 5% voltage drop. Is not it? So 5% voltage drop, 1 per unit means 100%. So 5% means voltage must be in between 1.05 to 0.95 in per unit. It is very easy to assess whether system is healthy or not, because actually when we do all this calculation, always for estimation, whether when we are incorporating something in power system, we are designing a power system, we are adding a generator, we are withdrawing a line, or we are assessing if there be a fault in a line, what will happen. So for all those situation, we want to analyze the system. So for that, this computation is required. For healthy condition, if when a system is running, then obviously these computations are not required. So that is the application. So for delta connection also, you will see there will be no change in line or phase quantities. You do it yourself in the same manner. Obviously, you can see that you will get the same thing, but you must do it yourself. That will be a practice for you. Now power also for both delta and star will be same. Why? Because three-phase power is root 3 VLIL conjugate. So root 3 VL means the VP, so 3 VPIP conjugate. And similarly for base quantity also root 3 VLIL B and equal to 3P VPIP B. So all will be same, right? So in per unit, obviously if you calculate in terms of three-phase quantities total, then it will be in line quantity also you can calculate, in phase quantity also you can calculate, but the calculation will be same, right? So in a system, say if I consider a base value is 300, right? 300 MVA is the base. Then this means this is the three-phase base, part total three phase. Then per phase how much? 100 MVA, right? So now you calculate, say this S per unit is say 0.8, right? So 0.8 per unit. Can you follow me? If you cannot, then you tell me. So the per unit value is 0.8 per unit. Then what will be the total power? Three-phase power, 0.8 into 300. So it will be 240. From the same thing, you can calculate what will be the per phase power. 0.8 into 180. The things will be same. You multiply it by 3, you can get the 240. So this 0.8 per unit information is sufficient to get the value of three-phase power or single-phase power. Have you understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
হ্যালো ম্যাম,
হ্যাঁ বলো।
বেস ভ্যালুতে ওখানে হচ্ছে যে আই এলভিটা আছে, আই এলভি আই এলভি যে কনজুগেটটা নেওয়া হয়নি হচ্ছে ওটা যে রিয়েল কোয়ান্টিটি বলে, তো মানে
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ
ওখানে
হ্যাঁ
বেসে সবগুলো রিয়েল বলে। হ্যাঁ
হ্যাঁ, সবগুলো রিয়েল বলে, দরকার নেই। মানে ওটা কনজুগেট, ওটা আমি করিই নি, কারণ ওটা হচ্ছে ওখানে রিয়ালই আসবে, ওখানে ইমাজিনারি থাকবে না,
ওকে
ফেজই থাকবে না, নেই তো। Now let us calculate base impedance, right? Base impedance using per phase values. So base impedance will be V square by S. We have calculated earlier. If you cannot remember, then I am saying it is difficult for you. Current voltage impedance is V by I. So V by I, we can write S by V. So simply it is V square by S in that way, right? You are new, you are not doing this for a long time, so you do not know. Understood this one? Why this V square by B? Have you understood? V square by S?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Then if we calculate using line quantities, obviously we should not calculate the impedance using line quantities, because impedance is a per phase values, in actual case. But say for by numerical values, if we want to calculate, then obviously it will be V square LB by V square three phase. This is these base quantities. Now you see these line quantities we can write root 3 into phase quantities, and this phase power in three phase value will be 3 into power in single phase value. Now these two three will be cancel out. So it will give you the same thing, right? So if a base is 100 MVA and say voltage is 11 kV, you can calculate base impedance by 11 square by 100, or you can make 11 by root 3 into whole square by 100 by 3. Both the things will be same, is not it? Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, but this is valid only for star, not for delta, ma'am, because root 3 line is equal to root 3 phase is only for star.
For delta, what will happen?
Ma'am, for
No,
delta
no, not
line,
for star or delta. It is for three-phase system. It is not base quantities or not the impedance connected in star or delta. Base quantity is the ratio of voltage by current. Actually, ZB is VB by IB. It is not star or delta. It is not an actual load.
okay, ma'am.
From there we are calculating. And this line, this 11 by root 3, not for the star or delta. It is for the phase quantity and line quantity. Understood?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, but the V line is equal to root 3 V phase. Ma'am, that is for only star.
Okay, you are
Because in
telling,
delta collection, V line is equal to root 3 doesn't come, ma'am. V line is equal to V phase. Then the 3
okay,
in the denominator will
that
not.
is the, no, that is the delta you are telling for the load, right? For
Yes.
power transmission line, for power transmission system, only the transmission line. What do you take the phase voltage?
For transmission line, ma'am, we take root 3. V line is equal to root 3 V phase for transmission
Yes,
line.
why? Because always there will be we assume the
Always in
phase
star.
voltage, not for star. We assume the phase voltage in star or delta connection. Where is in transmission line? Transmission line
Ma'am,
are only the line are running. Three lines are running along with neutral.
yes,
Is
ma'am,
not
yes,
it?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And there actually phase voltage means line to neutral voltage, not for star connection or delta connection.
Okay, ma'am, okay, ma'am. Yes,
Understood?
ma'am, yes, ma'am. Now I
Where's the
got.
confusion?
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am, yes, ma'am.
okay. So this thing we can easily apply for the impedance calculation. That does not mean we calculate line impedance, line values of base impedance in line quantities, because this is totally the mathematical thing. It is not possible to exist. But what I want to say, actually base quantity is an imaginary thing. We are using this one as a platform to get the ratio only. There is no more use of this, nothing else. So for that calculation, if we use the phase quantities for calculation of ZB or line quantities for calculation of ZB, it will give you the same value. Here actually ZLB means you are using line quantities, and ZPB means you are using the phase quantities. Understood? It is not phase value or line value. I hope you can. Have you understood, all of you? If you have any doubt, do not hesitate. You must ask me. Okay. Now, in comparison to that, if you see the base current, so you are calculating base current, then three-phase quantity base current is why ISB by V conjugate, because VI
Because
conjugate
it will
is
be
the
VI conjugate by
S
V,
equal
so
to,
I conjugate is equal to
so
I.
S by V conjugate, right? So here it is the in terms of the phase quantities, right? Now, if we want to convert it into line quantity, For that, we have multiplied numerator and denominator by 3. So the numerator will be converted to the line quantity. But denominator, you see, 3 PB is not the line voltage, but root 3 into VPB is the line voltage. So one root 3 will be there. So we can never calculate this one for using the this one for the base current calculation. Base current is not this one, but this one is not it. If you can to calculate in line quantities, then this should be the base current, not this one. Understood? So this is actually the phase quantity. This is actually using the line quantity. I have not written purposefully because it will create the confusion. So we do not calculate it in this way. For three-phase system, we calculate always using that root 3 VL IL equal to power S, not the P. And why not conjugate? Because it's a base quantity, so angle will not be there. If you give the conjugate, it will remain same for that reason. So root 3 VLB ILB is the SB. Okay, then it will give you the line current. Okay, not using this one. So for base current, we cannot use the thing. And for the star system, for the star calculation, this IBL is equal to phase current. But if we use this equation to calculate the phase current in three-phase system, that will give you wrong because these two are not same. You again see this thing after the class when you will be free, and if you have any doubt, then ask me in next class. Then you see, how will you calculate the per unit value? Say for a generator, how will you calculate the per unit value? Generator, all the informations are given. So we need per unit quantities when it is connected to a power system where there is a change in voltage and current for that reason. Okay, it's 210. Okay, I have to stop here. Okay, then later I am stopping here. We shall start from the change in per unit value from the next class. That's all for today. I have not checked. It is 210 right now. Okay, thank you. I shall send you this PPT right now in PDF form to your common email ID. Okay. And you go through the class note before coming to the next class. It is very much important for power system performance. Otherwise, we shall not be able to cope up. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.